Hi there, namaste, and welcome back to another spiritualistic pick a card reading. Today we are taking a look at advice from your future self. I love this topic personally, and I would like to thank you all, each and every one, for being here and let you know from the bottom of my heart that you are loved and you're beautiful. So, please take a deep breath, drawing the energy up your spine, just to center your energy. And as you exhale, allow yourself to come into clear knowing which group or groups has a message in it for you today. We have group number 1 on the left with the Hawk card, which is number 11. We have group number 2 in the center with the Dog card, number 37. And group number 3 on the right with the Dolphin card, number 31. As always, timestamps are listed below in the description box, as well as all of my information. And just one more time, because I love you guys, I'd like to thank you so much for being here. I'll see you at your reading. Namaste. Hi there, group 1. Namaste, and thank you so much for being here today. Today we're taking a look at advice from your future self, and you selected the first group with the Hawk card, number 11, representing messages here. This, in case you're curious, is the Animal Dreaming Oracle cards, and this was actually the first any type of tarot or oracle deck I ever got. So it's really special that I'm using this with you guys today, and this has a lot to do with you receiving intuitive messages, intuitive downloads, and when I think about this deck particularly, it kind of brings me back to my foundation in reading divination cards. And I think that your future self wants to come through and let you know that you have realized as much as you can in a particular situation. You know all that you're meant to know. You've taken a particular step of your journey as far as it's meant to come, but this is where you step into the gateway of a new chapter. You may have been receiving messages that maybe they're saying rub you the wrong way a little bit, and I'd like to approach this. There's something here about remembering your why. Also remembering why you say what you say, why you do what you do. All this blue here, it's drawing me to, of course, the Hawk is air. Blue reminds me of water. This is indicative as well of the throat chakra. So there is this energy here of allowing yourself to express your emotions. They're showing me, look at the force that hit the first domino over, instead of the entire domino picture that you created. That can be resonant for some of you. Advice from your future self. With this card and this card alone, there's something that you have been either working on or working towards for a very long time. Maybe there's something that is really close to your heart that you have just been pouring all this love into, and you wanted it to provide you with freedom in a particular aspect. Maybe you got a job you're really proud of, and you thought that it would help you find more time in your life. And instead, maybe you don't have as much time. Or maybe this is talking about a particular relationship with a friend, a partner, a family member, any person at all, and you thought that this would be expansive for you. You thought that this would be take you somewhere where, for some reason, it feels like you're hitting the end of the road. And your future self would like to let you know that you're not at the end of the road here. But you have realized as much as you need to realize in a particular area. It's time to start, they're saying, changing your actions. Now, this is not, this is only in a positive way. This is not meant to patronize you. This is not meant to make you feel uncomfortable in any way. And your future self wants to make it known how much they respect you and how much they respect your current choices. There's this energy here of you being like working at something for so long. They're showing me somebody like running on a treadmill, like uphill really fast. And at the end of the set, you are so very close to hitting that goal you wanted to hit. But because like your legs are jello, you're kind of tired, and you chose to run the incline instead of just going straight, you get kind of tired and it feels like you've been going forever. But your future self wants to come in and let you know it's worth it to push forward, but you are going to be feeling the effects of that incline that you chose. Whereas if you're noticing other people having an easier time with the same speed who aren't on that incline, just for analogy's sake, you're going to recognize that they want you to know this is fair. You are going to have greater rewards from this, but your future self almost wants for you to go back a little bit to your why, to the thing that got the ball rolling, and they want to kind of guide you through the things that they wish they had started earlier. This version of you, they're showing me like glitching between two timelines. One that chose to push it out or push forward, and one who decided that they valued enjoying the moment more. And these are two very important contributions you can make to yourself. So your future self wants to come through and let you know that they're going to be helping you select different actions to take and certain actions to remove so that you can find a healthy middle ground and reap the fullest rewards. And I'm getting something about maybe you've tapped in with your future self before, or maybe you're very intuitive or very in touch with your spirit team, or you listen to readings like this a bit. Whatever the case, I'm getting that the reason that you selected the incline in the first place was because this future version of you was guiding you. And now that you're reaching the end of the road here, you are about to hop off the treadmill. And you're being called right now to know that you've finished. You've got 30 seconds left on the clock. You can do this. Take a deep breath. Continue showing up. They're showing me specifically diaphragmatic breathing as well. So practicing this can be significant for you, especially with your throat chakra. If you're a public speaker, or if you're a singer, or if you just feel like you need a little bit of extra oomph, right? We know our life force energy comes from the spot between our sacral and solar plexus chakra, the golden star chakra right here. It also comes from every single particle in the universe. But when we use our diaphragmatic breathing, that is going to be between our solar plexus and our heart. So this is going to draw up our innate life force energy without affecting our longevity. And it's going to help pump it through your higher chakras. So if you feel like you need a little bit of extra oomph, okay, when it comes to maybe your breath work, when it comes to receiving or giving or speaking, your intuition, your faith, anything like this, practice diaphragmatic breathing and see your diaphragm like a pump, like an air pump, in order to increase the, well, let's say like air pressure, like when you pump up a tire in a bicycle or your car. Allow yourself to pump air into these higher chakras, and it will help you get into your mind instead of feeling that your legs are jello. Not in a mental way, but more in like an intuitive way. It will help you say, I can do this. I have faith in myself. I can speak up here. I can give a little bit more. I can receive a little bit more. It will really, really help this energy flow. And be aware as well that this is going to be like a recirculation off of your heart. So you will come to awareness of the emotions that are being held right here, that are going to be perceived obstacles. But as you practice this diaphragmatic breathing, it will help you to look at them and release them so that you become aware of them, and then you go, oh, that's what it is, because you're in an active process already and you're pumping through the energy. Okay, so it's not about absorbing as much energy as you can. It's not about charging yourself and draining yourself and charging yourself, because when you have a stable auric field, you can focus. And this is what you're being called to take a look at right now. Your future self wants to give you advice when it comes to other people. There are some, now the hawk is a very high flying bird. There's some energies around you that are not able to see things from as high of a perspective as you are. They're showing me just a very ethereal example, so take this however it applies to your situation, but they're showing me somebody who, they're showing me like a starseed, and everybody has galactic origins, and everybody has Earth origins. That's why we are existent. But they're showing me somebody who's had a million lifetimes in other realms and has carried all that information, seeding it down to earth. And they're showing me somebody who has walked the earth a trillion times and they're trying to send their energy up. So if two energies like this, if you're finding yourself with a higher perspective and you're seeding this truth down and you're seeing other people who are like, oh, I figured this out, but they still have some frameworks to ascend. If they're on the upward journey and you're on the downward journey, take everything with a grain of salt. Everything is relative. And they want you to focus more on the feeling of flight, on the feeling of freedom. Maybe some of you want to travel. They want you to spend some time focusing on what it feels like to be in a plane or on a boat or in a car. This will help you to manifest this into your future, funnily enough. And if some of you need to get creative, for example, taking something on the road with you, like an animal, or your job, or a schedule, or something like this. Just brainstorming now will be helpful. It will save you some time and space in the future. So these were a lot of messages just off the first card. Your future self, group number 1, has a lot of messages for you, literally. And there's something here about, they're saying you've been trying to enjoy the present moment more. You're normally very, very tapped in with them. And they're not blaming you for like wanting to enjoy the present moment because they see how focused you are at all times. But there's something here where you're coming of age in a particular situation and they kind of want to guide you through this, like coming of age. They're showing me like a quinceañera. They're showing me, like a sweet 16, and this doesn't have to be like a literal, physical, tangible age, although it can be. But they're showing me like, well, 11. 11 is the completion of a self-realization cycle. And from 11, this master number, it grows into 22, the full complete activation of this realization. And from here, we'd grow into mastery, number 33. And from here, we're willing and ready to teach. And this is why 44 is a number of Jupiter, of guidance, and also of teachers, right? Okay, so master numbers could be significant as well too. You could be a numerologist, you could just like numerology, maybe someone's been talking to you about numbers lately. Here's the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, your future self wants you to know, they're telling me, no, okay, not to pull it. Your future self wants to let you know first and foremost that they are on your side. They're on your side and they are sending you energy, okay? There's some sort of advanced energy work technique that you either know about but are still trying to figure out, or that you can do but have not advanced as much as your future self yet. And 3 of Wands, there's this energy of you feeling a distance between you and this version of your future self, and they're saying that on your timeline, relatively speaking, of course, they're a lot closer to you than you think. And there are hints towards what their life looks like and who they are in your past. So they actually want you to look at that as much. They're saying take less stress out of the future and take another look at your past, not to hold on to either one, but to notice how each are weaved together into the present moment. Allow yourself to become fulfilled where you're at, and then take those gentle steps. Like they're showing me someone taking a supplement. They're showing me instead of having a pizza delivered, you make a meal with what you already have, and then you take that money and you put it in your savings account. Little things like this. You set a timer for 2 p.m. every day and you do 35 squats. And then you move on. Just little tiny things that will help. There's number 39 here as well, which does indicate timeline work. Okay, this is energy transmutation. This is when you are magnetic and you're electric at the same time and you repolarize these energies and there's nothing in between. There's no friction. This is pure cosmic energy, seeding the present moment. Okay, so you're being asked right now, your advice is to take some time out to visualize what it is that you want and where in your past you've experienced this before and what it feels like. Oh, okay. What it has felt like if you want to travel. For example, remember when you were on a plane. Remember what that feels like. If you had saved up enough money for something you really wanted to do, maybe you bought a new car and you want to buy a new car again. Think about how it felt to have enough money to do that, or how it felt to walk into that dealership, smell the air, things like this. They want you to, they're saying almost manifest by experience, but this isn't really about like tangible manifesting. This is more about quantum entangling consciously. So they want you to take a look at this. We have Seven of Swords at the back of the deck and the Empress. Okay, there's something here where you feel like growth has been stunted in a particular area. Okay, and they want to let you know that this is an illusion, but that doesn't make it any easier. Okay, your future self is coming through to let you know that everything balances out at the end. Your ability to be okay when something like this happens is a big part of the reason. I'm hearing in some way, shape, or form something concerning this energy was an investment towards your future as well. And you might notice in the back that this energy gets flipped into your favor, whatever this is, but you will choose the higher road because that's who you are. And your ability to, they're saying again, because you were on the incline and somebody else next to you was not. Okay, and then they're showing me again that analogy of a very, very grounded energy trying to grow up against gravity versus like a galactic energy trying to root itself in the ground. Okay. We do have 3 and 7. That's a 10. This is where I'm getting Saturnian, Capricornian energy. If you've taken a parental figure towards somebody, or if you have taken somebody under your wing and they deceived you or something like this, or attempted to stunt your growth, I'm also hearing leveling. This is when somebody puts you down in order for them to have the perception of being better than you or higher than you, whatever this is. They want you to forget about it. They're saying it's okay, but this will flip into your favor very soon. Again, they're saying this is an investment into your future, and they don't want to get too much into this right now because they want to give you a little bit more advice as to what to do in the current moment to focus on your future self. Because they're saying there are a few things that they wish that they had just started a little bit earlier, done a little bit differently, and they kind of want to give you a heads up here. Okay, you might be getting a lot of attention at this time. They're saying this is a good thing, but if you can try to spend a little bit more time alone, it will end up easing some burdens off of you in the future. They're saying it's not that big of a deal, but you know what it feels like? You might be very empathic or very psychic, very spiritual. You know what it feels like to have a million people's energy on you at once. You might be trying to appease other people. There's something here about this. Ace of Swords and the Queen of Coins. Know that people are admiring you right now, because you are admirable. And this is something that they are asking you to take this energy within, not take external energy, but to harness this energy within, that you're admirable. Because your future self says that they wish that they had loved themselves, their body, their mindset, their love, like their own self, their ability to love, all the chakras. Your future self is giving you the advice to love yourself more radically at this time. They're saying, take yourself out on little dates. Go on that solo trip. They're saying, take time to meditate, do the breath work, do the squats, whatever it is. They want you to rein it back in a little bit to focus on yourself. They're saying that the social aspect is not going anywhere anytime soon, but the ability, not your sovereignty, but your ability to find solitude, that might be something that's a little bit harder to find unless you are meditating silently, just a stone's throw away from somebody in your near vicinity. So they want you to take advantage of this while you can. There's also something here coming up about wanting to start a project or wanting to tell a truth or tell a story or something like this. There's something here where you've had some sort of tactical inspiration. You're like, oh, I can do A through Z, and then that's an entire system, and I could just do that. Maybe you've outlined an album you want to write. Maybe you've outlined a book you want to write. Maybe you already have the tactical information of how you want to achieve something. Your future self they're literally saying begging. They're begging you to get a start on this. If it's 5 minutes today, if it's 10 minutes next week, just start working on it, because this is going to be something that takes a lot longer than you might anticipate, which is why they want you to go into it leisurely. But it's worth it. The sooner you start, the sooner you'll reap the rewards from it. And it will be an enriching and rewarding process just to create whatever this is. So they really want to let you know that they wish they had started on a particular project sooner, and that in your timeline, you already know what this is. So if you are having an option, maybe you hang out with your friends 5 days a week. If you were to redistribute that just a smidge, you take 1 day a week, or you leave early 30 minutes one day, and you invest that into your future self. Hang out with them for a bit instead of with your friends. Your friends are lovely, by the way. Your future self really, they like the people that are in your circle right now, okay? There's something, maybe you've recently released some people, or you've recently had some new people coming in, and they're saying you're starting to get the flow here, okay? I don't know who that's for, but yes. If you can reinvest 1 day, 1 hour, one something, and take it away from a social situation and invest it into a future project. This is something that's going to be bigger. This is something that's going to take a long time. We have Queen of Coins, but you already have all the information that you need. This is something that you are a master at, and it's something that you've kind of always said, yeah, I'll do this, I'll get to this, I'll get to this. They want you to start as soon as possible. So if you can do that, your future self would be very, very grateful towards you, and you will not regret it, okay? Also, there's something here about this being, this helping be a gateway to your dream life, okay? Whether this is financially or materially or intuitively, I'm getting that if you do this sooner rather than later, you'll be sleeping better, okay? Your dreams will be smoother, is coming out. Your life will be more to your own design. Maybe your material world will be a little bit more abundant. We also have Justice at the back of the deck, okay? You've been recently experiencing the balancing of a scale in a particular area of life, and the pendulum is falling right in the center now. You may have noticed that it was far to the right, and then it was far to the left. Now it's anchoring in the center. So take both perspectives and do try to center yourself a little bit. Just like in the intro, when I say draw your energy up your spine, take a deep inhale, allow yourself to come to center, and then exhale and come into clear knowing. They want you to practice this a little bit and know that you have a new framework, a new perspective, a new something to work with that has the understanding of both sides. There's some sort of truth that you have here. Maybe there's a situation here where you feel like you need to make a big change and it feels like it's an obstacle. They're showing me 2 paths, okay? One where you start on this long-term project that might be fulfilling for you. Like, I don't know, maybe making an album or creating a course or maybe a tarot deck, I don't know. And there's something else that seems like it's kind of what everyone else is doing. It might be what you feel like you should do, or it just seems like easier. Like it might be a little bit like, maybe lower vibrational or just like less effort, a little bit more instant gratification and less fulfilling. Whereas the other option would be like long-term rewards and very fulfilling. So they would like you to invest, to splurge for the more expensive option energetically. It will be worth it. And you will get carried in the meantime. If there's a question of security coming up here, they're saying, don't worry, you've got it. And then they're saying travel again too. And they're saying, yes, even for that. Okay. And they're showing me like this triangle here of the Ace of Swords, Knight of Coins, and the Queen of Coins. Okay. Notice that the 9 turns into a 10 when we add it here to the Ace of Swords. So there's something here about expressing your truth, maybe standing up for yourself, something that you are realizing, or something that you are very intellectually gifted at. Maybe you're really, really good at math. Maybe you're really, really good at science. Maybe you have a lot of knowledge about a particular topic. Okay, this is what's going to bring that 9 to a 10, and it's what's going to give you that that freedom, that autonomy in order to have the material abundance in your life that you want. And I'm getting to tell you material abundance can be a particular financial goal. This can be moving to a place you want to live. This can be having more time to yourself, any material construct. Maybe you want to get a tarot deck, right? Whatever this is materially, maybe you want to go get, I don't know, fillers or something. There's going to be room for you to have this. But it's going to require you to, they're saying just acknowledge this truth, act upon it, because you have 1, 1, 1, okay? Acting upon what you've realized, putting yourself first. So taking 30 minutes off that hang sesh with your friends, hanging out with your friends 4 days a week instead of 5 days a week, or taking one time where you notice yourself doom scrolling through social media, putting your phone down and sitting down to work on that, whatever that thing is, okay? Your future self loves you so, so, so very much. They want to let you know that things are going to work out for you a little bit better. They are letting me know we have 11 here, and the star card in the middle. They're saying that there's a wish of yours that is soon going to be fulfilled. And they want you to get started on this project or whatever this is before this wish comes in. Now, the tricky part is you're not going to see this coming, and you'll understand why when it shows up too. But this is something where you might feel it energetically, or there's a wish that you have and you don't. They're saying it's a wish that you used to want, but you don't wish for it anymore. Okay, so that might be specific or a sign or confirmation for some of you. And they're also showing me again here, they're showing me the pelvis and they're showing me the pointer finger. And if you look, he's doing, it looks like he's doing the Akash Mudra, which is the space to fire, okay, elements. So this helps to open up channels to create space. You've created space in your life for something. So they want you to invest some of it here and get used to just get used to switching stuff around a little bit. Maybe if you normally work on your kitchen counter, maybe move it over to a different table in your house. Just rearrange some things just to see how they feel. This will help you get used to doing something outside of your regular environment, or changing something up a little bit. It's like same but different. They want you to get used to that same but different energy, okay? And they're showing me again this pendulum swinging and coming back to the center, which is why it might feel differently, and you might be just integrating some things from the past, present, and future all together right now. And this is beautiful. They're aware that you're pretty good where you're at. You do feel like there could be more, and they want to let you know that you are right on top of it because you have completed this cycle. So your future self is saying, instead of showing up to the gym for an hour or 2 hours every single day, 6 days a week, it's in your best interest right now to maybe do 15-minute workouts or 30-minute workouts like at home, or go for a walk or a jog around the block, or things like this that are more, they give you more autonomy in your life, and it's not as restrictive. And they're also showing me and it doesn't break your muscles as much. So it will require less reconstruction. It will be more worth it for you. It's healthier for you. It's easier for your body. There's an easier process here, okay? So there's something here about allowing yourself to live in your truth, not trying to get to a place where you feel like you can. And in and of itself, you are living in your truth by trying to get there. But this is why they're encouraging you to take little actions and kind of displace a certain thing, a few certain things in your life, just to see how it feels. Maybe if you normally draw and you draw on your couch, try drawing at your work desk. Okay, that might help switch up some vibrations, and pay attention to what you're attuning together too. Do get started on whatever this is as soon as possible. Don't stress yourself out, because they're saying it will be a long and moderately strenuous process, but you will enjoy it and it will be enriching and it will be very worth it. And they're saying don't be afraid to fly. Yeah. There's something that you see from a higher perspective, and while they're saying this is interesting, this can be in a small community, in a large community, whatever this is, there's something you see from a higher perspective. And they're saying while you're waiting for everyone else to catch up, don't build something new while you're waiting for everyone else to catch up. And when they get here, you'll be ready to fly, and you will have already created something new underneath. Okay, so that's a specific message for some of you as well. They want me to look at what is underneath the Justice card quickly. We have the Magician. Okay. They're saying not to forget about the magic in your life, and that you can always ask them for help either with manifestation or with energy attunement. That can also be a synchronicity for some of you as well. We have another 111. So we have 111 on the left side of your spread and 111 on the right side of your spread. You could be seeing 1111 quite a bit. There's something here about letting yourself take the wheel. Not letting what you think you're supposed to do take the wheel, or letting what you think is fair take the wheel. They're almost saying try to remove yourself from your own situation as much as possible and tap in with them. They're saying that they will steer for you. They will help you stay on autopilot, but the autopilot is your future self. They would love, love, love to do that because there are certain things that they would love to tweak if you let them. So follow your intuition, especially at this time. And they're showing me like little medial things like, oh, this should be this color instead of that color. Or just little tiny things that would make a vibrational difference or would align with your future self more because you hadn't learned a lesson yet or you hadn't walked a particular part of your journey yet or something like this, okay? So that is all I have for you, group number 1. This was advice from your future self. I really hope this helps shed love, light, and clarity on your situation, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, week, month, year, and incarnation in this beautiful realm. If you like this reading, please like, comment, and subscribe, as it helps me out so much, and I love what I do so much, and I love you guys so much. So thank you again so much for being here, and namaste. Hi there, group 2. Namaste, and welcome to your reading. Today we're taking a look at advice from your future self. You selected the second group with the dog card. This is number 37, and it's also the card of loyalty. Now, the first thing that they're showing me, well, I'm hearing two things. I'm hearing Loyalty by Kendrick Lamar, of course, but I'm also hearing Hot and Cold by Katy Perry. Now we have the number 37. 3 is Gemini, 7 is Libra, and these are both air signs. And dog is an earth card. They're showing me when there's a very strong gust of wind, it can kind of create a dust cloud, creating a little bit of, cloudiness, maybe in your mindset or in your physical tasks. There's something here where you're being called to breathe out instead of waiting for the dust to settle, okay? Now, they're showing me OG and Loyalty, okay? And I'm hearing Loyalty by Kendrick again. So there's something here about with the hot and cold, it's like there's this energy that maybe you're picking up on. You might be receiving this or you might be giving this. It might be a little bit of both about a situation in your life that seems hot and cold. It seems like something that is loyal and something that's not. It seems something that's air, but it's also earth. It's something that seems to be masculine, but it's also feminine. There's definitely aspects of yin and yang in the situation, but they're not in necessarily congruent ways. So there's this energy here of having a little bit of dust to sift through. So your future self wants to, first of all, let you know that you've got this, first and foremost. And 37, this has to do with, this can be creating balance, creating relationships, expressing truth, expressing what it is that you value too. This can be expressing your virtues. My throat chakra feels a bit weird, which is letting me know your future self wants you to, they want you to speak up about your particular virtues or your values, or maybe you're still making up your mind about a particular situation because you either need more information, or there's something here about maybe the information that you have and what you're seeing they might be conflicting, or they might be a little bit hot cold. The reason for this, they're showing me somebody who's very intuitive, picking up information, or being able to see through somebody deeper than they're able to see through themselves. So what you receive might be all lovey-dovey, but you might have intuitive understanding that's opposite to that. Or you might see somebody who's like a bit flaky, or who's not showing up in a loyal sense, but intuitively you know that it's there. There's something here about you experiencing the inverse in one realm and the other. Advice from your future self. Okay, they want you to know that you are seeing things mostly clearly right now, but just do be aware that there's a bit of a dust cloud. This was put here, they're saying preemptively, in order to help you walk through the situation enjoyably. They're showing me somebody who's, they're showing me someone who's highly, highly intuitive for you, group number 2. They're kind of showing me a situation using my clairvoyance, so you can be very clairvoyant as well. Or clairsentient, claircognizant, clairsentient, clairvoyant. They're showing me somebody who is super intuitive, and so like you meet somebody and you immediately see who they are, how it's going to work out, what happens if you engage, what happens if you disengage, and you just look at it like, nah, I'm good, and then you just move on. And they're showing me like I'll say the journey of the hermit, so to speak, one who just continues traveling alone and maybe might experience people for like a day or a week or a month. I'm hearing the Friends theme song. Somebody who you might experience just people as like their higher selves. You know, you might know, okay, well, you're this, I'm here to teach you that. Like you might very much take a light worker or a grid worker even like a guidance kind of approach. You might be able to see people and be like, no, because you don't know this yet, but you're still healing through this. Like just seeing things from such a higher perspective. So a little bit of dust has been kicked up in a particular situation for you to get to enjoy it so that you can feel what it's like to stay or feel what it's like to have someone stay or a situation stay. So cute. My dog just like sighed. She's taking a little nap right now. She's so relaxed. There's something here about feeling this energy of peace, feeling like, at last, even though you have the intuitive knowledge that maybe this wasn't something that was going to be permanent, or maybe this wasn't something that was in your... They're saying sometimes... Okay. Sorry, your future self is kind of coming to me and they're showing me sometimes things are in your life for not the highest vibration, well, the highest vibration, but your highest fun. Sometimes the highest fun is the highest vibration. Not all the time. But there's something here about allowing yourself to tap into your sacral and solar plexus energies a little bit more. We have this grounded earth energy. We have this ethereal air energy as well. And there's something here where you can't breathe without air. You couldn't survive without expression, without truth, without intuition. Your future self wants to come and let you know that there is more to this situation than meets the eye, okay? Maybe the way that oh my gosh, my throat chakra, what is going on? The way that a particular situation was presented to you is not necessarily the shape or format that it will stay in forever. But you're meant to experience it lovingly, joyously, because the situation is loyal, but you understand yin and you understand yang. Now it's time to, you see the good in the bad and the bad in the good. You see yin and yang and the little dots in the center. But for this particular situation, you're going to be transcending duality here, which I'm hearing is a superpower of yours, but you had an opportunity to experience both sides of the situation. And maybe this got you a little bit dizzy or feeling a little bit clouded because when you ground yourself, you're in a dualistic realm. So when you experience something fully, instead of just walking the spiritual path all of the time, this is something that didn't take you off your spiritual path, but it allowed you to experience duality again. Not in a way where you're connected to the earth, in a way where I'm hearing you're reminded what it feels like to people for a little bit. And that in and of itself was the gift. Okay, so your future self wants to tell you not to be too hard on yourself right now. And they're saying not to forget that being a hard worker is not an accolade, okay? That is part of the social matrix. There's something about this that's coming up. And literally 3 little birdies, like, just landed on the telephone line outside my window. 3 little birds sat out my window, and they told me I don't need to worry, okay? Don't worry about a thing. Every little thing is going to be all right. Yes, I Bob Marley'd you. Okay, so there's this situation. You were experiencing hot and cold and everything. And advice so far, I'm going to pull your tarot and actually get some good advice for you. But they kind of wanted to give you a bit of a higher perspective. It's like you have the higher perspective, you have the lower perspective, but what you don't see in the middle is that something is changing shape or alchemizing or transforming, okay? And this is not about, they're saying it's not you, it's not the situation, it's maybe your connection to the situation, the energy in between the two, it's the connecting energies here. Sitting at roots of trees or at systems of flowers, at gardens, or like systems, like being around like an orchestra or like groups of things that are symbiotically in tune with each other can be helpful for you at this time as well. And this is specific, but they're saying not the Schumann resonance. Okay, so maybe some of you listen to Schumann resonance every day, and that might be keeping you hyper in the collective wave instead of in a transcended wave. Take that only if it resonates. We have the King of Wands card coming out here. Advice from group number 2's future self, please. Okay. You can be spending a little bit more time on your spiritual practice at this time. Do not ever feel bad about living in a 3D life. Do not ever feel bad about skipping out on your 3D life and being spiritual. Right now, they're saying it will serve you best to take a few moments to go within, to meditate, to recenter, or to show up on your yoga mat. Maybe you do this all the time, every day, but you've really been wanting to go like Sit outside in that pretty park by all the flowers and meditate with them. Okay, they want you to take that action. Okay, we have the King of Wands with the Moon. We also have the Eight of Wands, Queen of Wands. Look at this, counterpart cards, and the Eight of Wands. A lot of spiritual fire coming out here. Oh, okay, I see. Thank you. Wow, your future self is like really point cut blank. Okay, you have a really good system in play. You are very, very, very spiritually gifted. And that's why this previous situation, you were working with literally the elements of air and earth. Because look at all of this fire. We have fire, 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 and the moon, which rules intuition, which is water, but it's also fire. They're also showing me, I have a jar of fire opals right next to the reading. And this is like a perfect combination of fire and water. It's pitta. But you've been working with air and earth, and normally you're either an intuitive fire or intuitive water. This might be your comfort zone. Your advice from your future self is to let yourself fall back into your comfort zone, whatever that means, because your comfort zone is more evolved. It's like you were taken out of your comfort zone in order to help you. They're saying again, feel what it's like to people. We do have the Knight of Swords at the back of the deck. And this is really cute. You guys might be my spiritual pile. You guys might be my yogis. You might be my my channelers, right? Now this is interesting. There is an indication here that you have seen, like, you walked into the situation knowing already how it would resolve. So your actual advice from your future self, they want to let you know that they're very happy that they walked through the situation. And while you're walking through it, you're almost probably going to step out of it soon, or you might be like halfway through it or whatever this is. They want to let you know that they're glad that they walked through this. You might be looking back like, why is this in my contract? This makes no sense. And when you look back, you'll be glad that you had a little bit of a, they just keep saying people vacation. This is so cute. Cute in like a sweet way. Okay. Like reminding yourself, like they're saying, letting yourself be the human animal. Okay. Now with like the moon card is really standing out to me here, the moon and the Eight of Wands, but really the moon. Okay. You might be having an opportunity to share this in the future. This might open up more gateways for you. I'm hearing most likely not in the way that you're thinking, because maybe you might be thinking that there's a possible door here, but it doesn't really fit or resonate 100%. There's a reason for this, because you know there's a gateway here, but the one that you might conclude rationally from this highly intellectual and grounded perspective is not going to be actually what it is. And spiritually, you may have had guidance or realization of this a few times, but there's this energy of this is where they brought the dust up in the situation. The air struck the desert sand and created a cloud. So, advice for you, group number 2. They want you to keep moving forward, first and foremost. They also want you to know that you've been through a spiritual awakening that's very significant recently. You might be tapping into spiritual and psychic abilities that are just really, really strong. And they're showing me, do I want to talk about this? Not really, but they're telling me to anyway, so I will. I've had a few near-death experiences myself. I've also had really spiritual experiences where I felt like without it being necessarily a danger inflicted near-death experience, experiences where I spiritually had an option to drift out of my body and recycle or go back into the current stream of consciousness. And they're showing me every time I've been in that area, that little bubble, they're saying that there's something here where if you had experienced this awakening that you had been through recently, this larger one, which lets me believe you might be opening up to a larger gift or skill or perspective of the universe or outside of the universe or something like this, you needed to tap into, you needed to breathe the air. I'm hearing Breathe by Pink Floyd. Great song. I'm hearing breathe the air and put your feet on the ground while you were walking through this. Otherwise, you could have very much, they're showing me then getting lifted into this little bubble of Like this could have been something where the spiritual energies are so intense that if you didn't have a very tangible, heavy anchor, you literally would have maybe floated out of your body. Okay, I'm hearing Maha Samadhi instead of Samadhi, and it wouldn't be accidental. I'm definitely getting this as my spiritual pile here. But there's something here about explaining your experiences. King and Queen of Wands, you might be tapping into mediumship abilities. That does not seem nearly as intense as what I just described, but I have to say, as a medium myself and with a lot of friends that are mediums as well, there are so many different ways and corners that this opens up to your own experiences. You can meet all different types of beings. You might be learning about things that were unbeknownst to you before, or they might be showing you things through remote viewing, clairvoyance, however it is that you pick up on your signs and synchronicities, your signals, your intuition. There's something here about having external help in different realms, either parallel realms, beyond the veil, earthwalkers, ancestors, spirit guides, extraterrestrials, extra-dimensionals, whatever. All of the above, for a lot of you probably. And there's something here about, okay. You have reached a particular energy that they're saying it doesn't matter if it gets grounded into the earth or not, but it mattered that it got grounded into you. But for you needed to be connected to the ground. So you might be feeling a little bit, you might be feeling like your energy is consciously anchored to your body, as opposed to you just existing and functioning through your body. Take that only if it resonates. Don't try to force it. Don't try to put yourself in that place, because it can create some physical symptoms. Okay, so take it if it resonates, leave it if it doesn't. If it happens later, remember this, it's valid. Okay, confirmation. Don't press it. But there is definitely a situation or guidance that's around you. Now, the reason this is coming up as advice from your future self is because you're being encouraged to be aware of this energy and know that you are more closely connected to this energy, that it's been around you more often or more strongly than you might be currently thinking or giving it credit for. Your future self has a very, very strong connection with an energy or a group of energies that this can be like a collective. Okay, this can be an earth walker, this can be an ancestor. Take it however it resonates. They're bringing me to mediumship. They're bringing me to Chiron, but like the psychopomp kind of Chiron, okay? And they're drawing me to spirit, communication, seeing what's beneath the surface, seeing the truth, the spiritual truth, truth of formation or something like this. They're showing me Sefer Yetzirah as well, so that can be significant. If that kind of rings a bell for you, read it or reread it or meditate, vibrate alongside with it. There's something significant about that. It's just coming out here for you. Now, advice from your future self is going to be, they're showing me like your intellectualism expanding here with the Knight of Swords. This has spontaneous awakening written all over it. And there's something that was so huge that it took a long period of, they're saying time and space, because it needed to pass through the fourth dimension. This is the swords here. And so that fourth dimension, that experiential dimension of space-time, this is your air and the ground, primarily the air. But this spontaneous awakening was so huge that yes, it was spontaneous, yes, it was large, but it needed to time to ground into the fourth dimension, time to ground into the third dimension. And you're so anchored up here that you're you already understand, you already understood. Your future self is saying that you understand there's no difference between them and you. You understand this already. But advice here is to flow with this energy and to continue connecting with what you feel drawn towards. This is specific, but I'm getting there may be a group or an energy, like maybe they're showing me a child earthwalker that I encountered one time. There might be an energy that has come to you for help in the past, and you're kind of picking up on their energy again, and you're like, why? What? Okay, there's something here about re-exploring this connection. It doesn't have to be this. This can be a collective. Maybe you have awoken to having experienced another collective before, or you feel them guiding you very strongly. Maybe you're reconnecting with an ancestor and you feel called to look into their lineage or something like this. Can be anything like this, but you're being called to explore this connection further. It's going to be very significant, and they're saying very helpful. There is some sort of ancient process or ancient science that you know of that maybe you don't feel like, oh, that you know of and you're meant to speak on. But this is why they're making sure that I tell you. It's less important that this is grounded into the realm and more important that it's grounded into you. Advice from your future self is not to worry about shrinking yourself to fit in, and also not to worry about being too expanded for the other understanding of others. Because there's something about who you are or what you're doing or the vibrational trail that you're leaving here that will get picked up on when people are ready, or when they're ready, or something like this. Okay. Are telling me to move along, so I will do this. So this is a very high vibrational reading, and I love this for you, group number 2. Messages or advice, please, from group number 2's higher self. They just keep saying, keep it moving, keep moving on, keep moving on. There's a reason why you've been given something to tangibly do, okay, while this was loading for you. Like, you might have had one of the, like, you might have been having very, very grounded experiences while you're having huge spiritual awakenings. I'm not talking about integration of the two, where it's like you experience the universe through nature. It feels a little bit more like you're having, like, almost like out-of-body experiences while you're grocery shopping, or while you are, they're showing me somebody, like, out at a club or something. Like, this is, like, the separation of these two energies and you holding the channel in between, not the integration of the two. So they wanted me to make that distinction. Okay, there's this cute little kid with a pink hat outside my window, and I just feel like pink hats could be significant. And also, this is the second time child energy has come out. We have King of Cups here. Okay, so advice from group number 2's future self. Want me to pull the top card, the bottom card, and then the top card. Okay, look at that. Ooh, and the Fool. Okay. You feel very connected to something. This keeps coming out. And this will be something that ends up 66, leading you towards definitely fulfillment and where you want to be. You've completed a cycle. You've completed a chapter. And there's something here about you having one last hurrah before you kind of hop on the boat to have, like, a very ethereal rest of your existence in some way. Okay? They're showing me one of my more, I'll say, like, gently, like, traumatic near-death experiences. It wasn't the experience that was traumatic, it was the thing that caused it that was traumatic. But there is they're showing me this, okay, as, like, there was one physical thing that occurred that may have been synchronistic for you before you walk the rest of your journey, or at least a large majority of the next chapter of your journey, in spiritual success as your routine. Okay, which is why advice that came through right away was for you to spend a little bit more time taking those two energies and integrating them within the self. Okay, practicing yoga, meditating, breath work, spending time around water. There's something here about they're showing me in my clairvoyance, they're showing me you, like, holding, like, a glass of water and feeling thirsty and someone trying to take it away. So that can be significant for some of you, or if there's something like this that's occurring, they're saying don't fall for it. Okay. We do have a lot of wands here, and then it's diluted by, we have water. Oh, we have water, earth, fire, and water again. Okay. Water, earth, fire, air. Long ago, the 4 nations lived together in harmony. You are going to be coming into a different type of success. You vibrationally expected this, but you also physically maybe didn't know how it would manifest, or maybe you saw the physical manifestation and weren't sure the journey to get there. It snuck up on you. That's another reason for this dust cloud. Okay, and they're not saying that you didn't see it. They're saying that you did. You saw the higher perspective. You saw the grounded perspective, okay? And as these things are kind of integrating down into one another, because they're saying your future self is specifying one thing about you is you don't take unclear energy and ascend it. You don't take unhealed energy and ascend it. You don't take energy that you're not fully informed about and ground it. You don't say things that you're unsure about. You don't do things that you haven't already planned and you know what they're going to do. It's like everything is very calculated from a higher perspective for you. And so your advice here is to continue following kind of, let's see, I was going to say the emotions, and they're saying no, that's not quite it. So give me a moment while I download this. They want you to understand fully why and how this energy will lead you into success. They're showing me visualization exercises. Pinterest is coming up as well. They're showing me visualization exercises, okay? Because you have access. Okay, there might be, you're being called to integrate these two energies together. Now, the grounded energy is less situational. Try to approach it less matter-of-factly, which I'm getting that you already know. This was part of your spiritual guidance or clarity here. But as you integrate these two energies together, beautifully, clearly, allow the highest vibrational version of the earth energy to come together. And allow yourself to visualize the way you're going to have success by, then they're saying, again, connecting with whatever energy you've been connecting with recently. You might be, we have 88 here. There's something about letting go of a need for abundance, letting go of a need for faith and pleasure and security. And this is interesting. They're saying it's not coming from lack thereof. It's coming from relativity thereof. Okay? So allow yourself to be where you're at. Don't for a second try to be where somebody else thinks that you should be. I'm getting that you know this, but sometimes like we know stuff and then we walk through life and people are like, well, what if you did it? And then you think about it because that's who you are. Okay? You have completed this chapter. You've completed this cycle. And even notice on this card, the sigil that came up here. It's two things intertwining, but not necessarily touching. They're coming into almost like, this looks like in the Light Seers Tarot deck, the Ace of Cups, how she's holding that little light ball in front of her heart. That's kind of what's going on here. Okay, but think of this a little bit less like love and a little bit more like divine source union. This is bridging different realms together, quite literally. So there's something here that might be a part of your spiritual mission and a little bit less part of your earth mission. But in order for you to fully access one, you have to be super grounded in the other, because this is either a super high spiritual energy so you have to have a super grounded earth energy. So as you kind of intertwine these together, you are going to be visualizing, allowing yourself to visualize more the way that each can serve you in the other respective, or in respective manners. I hope this is clear for you. You have the Faith card at the back of the deck, the Fool card, right? And the High Priestess is popping out here as well with the Chariot. We do have Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, and some Aries here. Allow yourself to go back to center. Okay, allow yourself to go back to, maybe if you have like a spiritual happy spot, if you have like a place where you chill when you meditate, or like a past life version of yourself, past, present, future, parallel, whatever life that you like chill with and that resonates with you the most, go back to your spiritual comfort zone, okay? And then take just like half a moment and approach this grounded situation from that perspective, or visualize from that perspective, not approach the grounded one, I'm sorry. Visualize from that perspective. It's not just that it's a higher perspective. You have that. It's that it's devoid of growing pains. Okay? Devoid of growing pains. Also, teeth can be significant for you as well. They're showing me the teeth growing in on the High Priestess. Okay? We have 37, which is Capricorn, and the dog, you can see teeth can be significant. Maybe you need to go to the dentist. Maybe brush your teeth after your lunch. Okay? Maybe start flossing or floss a little bit more, whatever this is. Teeth is coming up as well. Chickpeas are great for that too. Your teeth and your spine usually have similar health patterns. So, okay. You have been connecting with something very spiritually, and you're about to be connecting with it more tangibly. They're showing me if you've ever connected with a spirit and it's a very, very strong spirit, or the presence is very, it takes up a lot of density, and you kind of get those really intense chills, right? They're showing me like that, okay? So there's something that you've been connecting with spiritually that you're going to be feeling physically, okay? Advice from your future self is to drink water when this occurs. Drink water. Make sure that you are charging what's in the water. Otherwise, you can be absorbing the energies that are around you, okay? That the water was around, and that can include this. So you want to charge your water first, okay? Think of your being as water. It will help you find that in-between flowy space, okay, between the tangible earth and the fiery spiritual. It kind of dampens the fire a little bit and it loosens up the earth a little bit, okay? So water is your best friend right now. There's something here about reciprocation. We do have the 6 of coins out and the 6 of wands. Reciprocation and success, okay? You have a vision for yourself, and this isn't because it's something that maybe you want or it was your idea. This is a vision that's been bestowed upon you, okay? There's going to be a fated event that cracks this open for you, and you're being encouraged to take this opportunity when it arises. Let go of any preconceived notions here, because there's something that's not what it seems. And finally, I'm hearing once a something, always a something, okay? And like once a friend, always a friend. Once, like they're showing me the dog and the loyalty, okay? There's something here about not underestimating the longevity of any of the situations that are in your life, okay? So you might be looking at some of these things as like a lesson to pass through or something that will occur. They're showing me again in the beginning, that analogy we got, where you just have kind of a higher perspective on everything, so you kind of just go, no, I'm good on that, or yeah, okay, we'll have this one interaction and then that's good, or something like that. We're able to be like, oh, this is what's needed from me, here it is, okay, bye. This is something that is enriching for you, not from you, okay? And so, you've done your part in the grounded situation, and you received your part on the spiritual situation, okay? So now you're being called to flip these two things. Okay, so don't underestimate the longevity of any of the situations in your life right now, especially the ones that seem fleeting or a little bit flaky. Okay, because they're not. Continue drawing your energy back to source, back to unconditional love, back to your source. And then there's this sense of, if you have like a positive trigger for, I remember who I am, this is who I am, I know this, they're saying anchor into this right now, because this will help you to create a higher vibrational anchor for you to alchemize the energies that you're about to deal with a lot easier. Your future self wants to let you know that this version of them that's coming to you is not too far off. They want to let you know that something is not going to hurt as bad as you think it might. And they also want to let you know that you have a lot more information than you know, that you have a lot of information, and you might be looking around like thinking, oh, somebody else has to know this, somebody else has to pick up on this. Your future self is saying by this point that they're coming to you, they realize that they literally don't. They literally don't. So, and I'm hearing you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Okay. So that is all I have for you, group number 2. I really hope this helped. That was advice and just kind of a bit of a, I guess, clarity reading, but that was advice from your future self. I really hope this helps shed love, light, and clarity on your situation or plethora thereof. And I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, week, month, year, and incarnation in this beautiful realm. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out so much, and I love what I do, and I love you guys so much. I love connecting with you guys. And yeah, thanks again for being here, and I love you. Namaste. Hi there, group 3, namaste, and welcome to your reading. Today we're taking a look at advice from your future self. You selected the 3rd group with the Dolphin card, number 31, and breath. Whenever I think of dolphins, I immediately think of play, so there's kind of an inner child energy coming out here. And I'm hearing work hard, play hard. We have 3, which is creating. It's also expressing. It's also your sense of self. And we have number 1, which does have to rule, it rules your face, your head, your sense of self, your impulse, and the attention that you pay to yourself as well as new beginnings. With breath here, there's something here where you're being encouraged to like melt into each and every moment, but in an active way, in a flowing type of way. Not melt as in stagnation, but melt as in let yourself follow the flow. They're showing me the sign of Pisces. They're also showing me the Pleiadian collective. So there's something here about home, about Hi Wraith. Okay, there's something here about connecting with your roots. This can be your star roots, this can be your ancestry, this can be your inner child, this can be just the ground beneath your feet, connecting with your roots. Now, I would like to call attention to the fact that we have Dolphin in water, and number 4, which is Cancer, which is also water. Advice from your future self is to allow yourself to play a little bit, but also to balance work and play and rest. This is more important than you might be thinking right now. You might have this energy about you where if you just work a little bit harder, then you'll get to play, but you'll be too tired because you didn't rest, okay? Or if you rest just a little bit more right now, then you'll be able to get up and work. But you rested so much that you ended up getting tired. Or if you play a little bit too much, then you know that you will get really tired and then you won't want to work, or you'll play and then you'll work and then you don't have time to rest, okay? So they want you to find a perfect balance between these 3 things. And they're saying not to worry about, they're saying, really? Okay, they're saying, sorry, I had to check. They're saying not to worry about overindulgence right now, but worry about balance of these indulgences. Now, water is the ruler of the sacral chakra here. And this does look like a jellyfish, which is kind of letting me know, make sure that you are staying on top of everything from a higher perspective, or else you can get stung, okay? Also, jellyfish. There are species of jellyfish that are immortal. So remind yourself that you are technically like on vacation in this body, okay? So let yourself have the experiences in your physical life that you want to have while you're here, because life in your body is only so long. It's very short. And there's also an energy here. I didn't get this for the other groups. This is a whole animal oracle deck, but there's a connection with animals coming out here too. Maybe to spend more time with your pets, or maybe to spend more time connecting with them spiritually. Maybe some of you like to take your animals swimming, or give them bath time, or something like this. There's water and air and your animals coming out as well, or your local animals too. There is something coming out here about letting yourself just play, letting yourself breathe, feeling now the balance between 3 things. This coming out with the Dolphin card and these topics that were coming through as well. Advice from your future self is to practice breath retention as well, but the form of pranayama where you inhale, you hold your breath, and you exhale all for the same count. There are several different modalities of just this practice, but that timing specifically will be helpful for you at this time. For example, breathe in for 4, hold for 4, and then exhale for 4. This will help you to find balance in all 3 areas of life. That came up here today. I'm going to pull your tarot cards and see what advice does your future self want to give you. They're saying, don't be afraid to play. For some of you, don't be afraid to create. Maybe if you, maybe you're very creative. Okay, here's the devil coming out here. Okay, I see. For some of you, maybe you're very creative, or your inner self, your higher self, your inner child is very creative. And maybe you're a very hard worker too, and maybe you do something creative for work, or maybe you want to. But maybe when you are creating things that you're passionate about, you don't consider it work, you consider it play. There's this energy of, they're showing me somebody who has time to themselves, and instead of enjoying it, they're working on like a side hustle, or they're working on like something that is technically for work, but because it doesn't fit in their regular 9 to 5, or it doesn't fit in their regular task list, they're like, well, that's just my personal time. That's for me. And your future self is saying that there is time to do everything, and not to remove play in lieu of work, not to remove any of these 3 areas of life, not to remove work for play, or rest for work, or rest for any of these things, okay? You have the Knight of Cups, Knight of Wands, 2 knights here. Okay, so you are leveling up. We have 22, the knights, we have Page is 11, 2 pages would be 11, 2 knights are 22, right? 2 queens are 33, 2 kings are 44. We have 22. We have Pitta here, water and fire. Some of you might be, this is interesting coming out, some of you might be drinking, okay, a little bit, be careful. If you are, or just experiencing kind of lack of inhibitions, but in like a positive way. I'm hearing, release your inhibitions, feel the rain on your skin. So unwritten is kind of a little bit of the advice, a bit, that your future self has for you, but it's deeper than that. So they're going to touch base here with you right now. Here's the 4 of Cups, okay? You'll notice that there's an area of life, or 2, depending on your situation, that you have been holding out for future you. And future you is saying, when you create a habit, you continue forming that habit. You continue sticking there, okay? So your future self wants to give you the advice right now to find balance in these areas so that you don't continue doing the same habit. You might be working super hard so that you can play later. I'm hearing someone say, I'll sleep when I'm dead, okay? Your future self is saying, don't let this become a habit, because that's what's going to happen. It's not going to be that you're going to work and then you're going to spontaneously have time to play or rest. You're going to feel less comfortable doing this. It's going to be further accessible from your energy. So pull it back to center, find balance in these areas of life. And they're saying, let yourself learn how to play again, learn how to rest again, learn how to work again. Okay, there's something here, one area of your life here. I'm getting it might be probably play or rest, but it will be different for all of you. Your future self is saying that you are activating new areas of your life, and you are learning that you've been really hard on yourself. And there's this energy of almost feeling bad that you feel like you're being hard on yourself. And your future self wants you to break this habit right now. They want you to know that you are enough, you know enough, you do enough. We have 1 and 5. Okay, this has to do with finding, changing your mind, changing your headspace, allowing yourself to embody your inner child, letting things be easy. I'm feeling to tell you, group number 3, that it's okay to let things be easy sometimes. You don't always have to give 110% at everything. You don't always have to schedule 10 hours of work in an 8-hour workday and just expect yourself to be above and beyond, okay? There's this very all or nothing energy that's coming out here, and it's because you honor and love yourself, because you honor and love your future self. But there's also a sense of feeling maybe overlooked, or like you're missing out, or letting life pass you by, because maybe you're not resting enough. Maybe you don't get to play enough. It's like there's something here where you just, if you put yourself in waiting, then you will stay in waiting. And you'll notice that you walk right past all these opportunities that are occurring at certain times, okay? And so they don't want you to miss out on any opportunities just because you feel like there's more you could do. There's always more you can do. There's always less you can do. Allow ease, allow flow, allow things to be easy. They're saying it really is that easy, group 3. Your future self is saying that they wish that they had learned a little bit earlier that they didn't need to work as hard. They didn't need to do as much. They didn't need to show up as often. Because there's something here where if you let yourself hold back a little bit and experience the world around you, it will, in different ways, fill you with the enrichment that what you're currently doing is providing you with. But there's a bit of a parallel path that's occurring right now. Maybe there are things you want to learn. Maybe there are some books you want to read. Maybe you want to start a new social media channel. Maybe you really want to experience something. Write a book. Read a book. Spend some more time going to concerts. Page of Swords can be kind of anything. But there's something here about knowing what to do. Maybe you have like holding back abundance, okay? Abundance in emotions, enjoyment, pleasure, holding back abundance in rest even, so that you can, in the future, maybe have enough. But if you tell yourself that you don't have enough, you're going to continue having enough. This is where they want you to break this pattern. This is, they're saying sneakily, lack versus abundance sneaking up on you again. They're saying that you've mastered this. You've already come up to this. But now you are rewalking that cycle. They're saying, okay. They're saying that you have adapted abundant mindset in one area of life very, very, they're saying fortuitously, but in the other two, there is still a bit of lack mindset. Okay, so they want you to apply the lessons that you learned in one sector and carry it over to the other two. And you'll notice that this abundance, as it comes back around full circle, it will bring an easier, lighthearted, more fluffy, beautiful energy to the area of life that you've been experiencing abundance in, but you've been experiencing abundance through restriction. You can look at your astrology chart for more details. If you have, do you remember those little bubble toys, like my 90s kids, early 2000s kids? They look like worms, and they were kind of filled with like gooey, squishy stuff. I don't really know, but you could like squeeze one side and it would create a bubble over here. And then you could squeeze the other side and it would create a bubble over here. This is kind of what's going on, okay? If you've restricted one area, it expanded the abundance here. And so what you're doing is allowing this energy to kind of flow back around through all of it, and then you'll have a nice, easy, balanced flow. Do you guys remember those toys? Drop what they're called in the comments, because I cannot remember, and I would love to buy one for my inner child. Anyway, so your future self wants to let you know that it's okay for you to have more play in your day. It's okay for you to work. Tell yourself, okay, some of you, your advice from your future self is to set a time where you turn off work mode, or where you turn off play mode, or turn on play mode, or turn on work mode. Maybe there's kind of an energy of like Page of Swords. They're showing me somebody like waking up and checking their email, and then that kind of structures their to-do list and like working from the second that you wake up. Okay, maybe if you work on social media, or if this can be kind of a little bit more difficult sometimes to separate life from work, okay? Especially if you're creative, because life gives you creative inspiration to create. And so they're acknowledging that, they're validating that. But they want you to try to find more, like, you creating because you're inspired. If that's your job, that's not your playtime. And if playtime, I love this. Group 3, let's go on a play date. If you have, okay, they want you to implement a little bit more structure and a little bit more balance in these areas of life, and that's okay. They're saying that you've done a phenomenal job and that you're going to experience the rewards as soon as you let yourself experience the rewards. And this might seem counterintuitive right now, because there's this mindset here about if you only just work a little bit harder, then you'll get there. If you only just follow your intuition a little bit further, then you'll get there. Temperance, in between 2 5s, coins and swords, both of the difficult 5 cards here, right? So we have, if only you could tap in with your spirit guides a little bit stronger, if only you could be a little bit more intuitive, if only you could wait a little bit longer, if only you could just figure it out a little bit longer, if only you could just surrender a little bit harder. No. Yes, always, but no. The reason for this being, we have 555, because this is a change that you are being asked to ground. You're being asked to look at your home. Maybe for some of you, you want to rearrange it or get some more decor. Maybe some of you like to really create stuff. Creativity is coming out a lot. Paint yourself a new canvas and hang it up in your kitchen or in your home. Go get some twinkle lights and hang them up in your bedroom. Let yourself create something beautiful for the sake of creating. And you might be surprised what tasks end up becoming your work. And this will still be separate from play and still be separate from rest. Now, your future self really wants to talk to you about rest, okay? They're saying that if you feel like you need to take melatonin, or you feel like you need to ingest something at all to help you sleep, particularly right now, or if you notice that you're sleeping past your alarm, you're getting really dozy, like dozing off earlier in the day, this is because they're saying, they're telling me to tell you this gently. It's because your body's asking you for more rest. It's not because if only you could be a superhero that only needs 4 hours of sleep a night. It's not because if only You could have clearer sleep or sleep on your back more. It's not that, okay? Your body physically needs more rest. I feel called to tell you, now, gender is not included in this at all. Depending on where your hormones are currently at, hormones that are more feminine associated, okay, works on a moon cycle, a lunar cycle, 28 days. Testosterone cycles that are more geared towards male hormones, they work with the sun cycle every 24 hours. So you'll notice that you have natural dips in masculine energy, literally in your hormones, and you'll have natural dips in your feminine energy, your feminine hormones, regardless of who you are, regardless of if you've done hormone therapy, regardless of how you gender identify, whatever your body is. Your feminine energy works on a lunar cycle, and your masculine energy works on a sun cycle. So allow yourself to free flow in these areas. And if you want to use some of that masculine energy to kind of plan for the feminine cycle, and you want to use that feminine cycle to intuit the action you're going to take there, that can be very helpful for you. Okay, let yourself rest when you need to rest. Let yourself move when you need to move. Your body is very, very intuitive. And some of you might be putting this on the back burner. Your future self would love it if you woke up and moved a little bit, whether it's going for a jog, doing some Pilates, doing some yoga, or even just waking up and like stretching a little bit or just shaking stuff out, you know? Your future self would love to see you wake up and move as soon as you wake up. You can keep your eyes closed, roll out of bed. You can wake up and go to a TRX class. It's relative, whatever you want to do. But there's something here about not from an energy of pushing harder, not from an energy of doing more or going harder, or if only you could wait a little more, or if only this could happen. No. If you're experiencing lack in the area that you put so much energy towards, it's because you're being called to pull energy away from that. And your future self wants to give you this truth gently. It's not because you're on the wrong path. It's not because you're doing the wrong thing. It's not because you're not going to get success in this area of life. It's because you deserve better than the balanced schedule of life that you're currently existing in. And your future self wants to let you know that they wish that they had broken this habit. And there's another version of you that has broken this habit. And they're very, very happy. They experienced their success earlier, as a matter of fact. And the reason why something is on hold right now is not because you're doing something wrong, not because your hard work isn't going to pay off or isn't paying off, because it certainly will. Your future self is saying, don't mistake that. Regardless of what you do or what your life looks like, you did the work and you're going to get successful results from it. However, your future self has realized and would like to again gently pass along to you that the universe is not going to reward self-restrictive behavior. And this is where, for you, this might not be a fun truth, because you are working really, really hard, because you are bettering yourself all the time. You give 110%, and those are exactly the results you will get too. But you deserve to rest. You deserve to play. You deserve to create. And this will be what gets this cycle of flow going again. So allow yourself to do some things that are maybe out of habitual character, but totally resonate with you. You might be noticing you have some more opportunities to maybe go out with friends, to hang out with people, to go play, to travel, to maybe you have some time to go sit outside and read, or spend some time loving on yourself in whatever ways that mean for you. And you are being encouraged to prioritize this right now. Not because it's more important than work, but because it's equally as important as work. Not because play is more important than rest or work is more important than rest. It's because rest is equally as important. We aren't just here to work and play. We're not just here to work and rest. We're not just here to play and rest. We have to breathe. So breathe in for 4, hold it for 4, and exhale for 4. Okay. Advice from the future self of group number 3, please. They really want you to be gentle with yourself. They want you to nurture yourself. They're showing me again, they're drawing me to Cancerian energy. There's something here about like mothering yourself or reparenting yourself. Oh, here's another 4 of Cups. 9 of Coins at the back of the deck. You have, oh, okay. There is maybe a situation in your life that's a little bit stale. You're being asked to give yourself the benefit of the doubt. I'm hearing to tell you that you did the best that you could. They're showing me again 2 paradigms. Okay, there's a version of you in the future that 4 of Swords, 444, look at that. There's a version of you that in the future, you gave yourself the benefit of the doubt. You know that you did the best that you could, and you know that you made the right choice. You chose self-love. That version of you is happy and very at peace. There's another version, I'm hearing a little bit of guilt, but at peace. Okay, but this is where being gentle with yourself comes in. There's another version of you in the future that doesn't give yourself the benefit of the doubt, that puts some sort of, like, 4 is home, it's mother, it's nurturing. There's something here about like reparenting yourself, maybe like something like this being withheld from you. I'm hearing like narcissist empath dynamic. I don't want to get too into that stuff, but there's something here where there's a situation in your life where you chose yourself and you needed to choose yourself. And this showed up time and time again to get you to choose yourself. There's a version of you that said enough is enough. And that version of you is happy and at peace. But there is a little bit of a what if feeling there. There's also a version of you that decided to try again, raise your vibration, speak truth, whatever. This is re-entering a karmic loop. This version of you is trying to put themselves first by taking responsibility for everyone and everything around them, and that is not your job. And if you have a cycle like this going on, if this is why you work too hard, if this is why you play too hard, if this is why you rest too hard, this is what you're being asked to take a look at, because this is the core of what you're releasing right now. Okay? Something being withheld from you and something very unhealthy being shoved down your throat. Okay? You're being called to choose yourself, not in the way that you were taught you're allowed to, but in the way that genuinely puts you in your truth. And here we have the devil popping out here. Very synchronistic. Okay? It's okay to share your story too, is what I'm getting from you here. Okay, your future self wants to draw your attention to some things that you do not want to talk about. You would be fine moving on. There's something that you healed from, and maybe your truth was never fully validated. Okay, or maybe you just never got to express it, or when you did express it, it was like brushed off or something like this. Your future self is saying that it's time that you open up about this if and when you have a safe space, if and when you want to. They want to let you know that the reason for this is to help other people while reminding you that it is not your responsibility. You do not owe anybody anything, and it is not your responsibility to take charge of other people's healing. It is not your responsibility at all whatsoever to help other people break through their cycles. You can lead by example, but you have to love yourself first. Okay? Sometimes your truth is all that matters. There is truth to particular situations, and your future self wants to let you know that there's the situation here. There's a reason you feel like you need to have there's a reason that you're unbalanced in these 3 areas of life. And that's exactly the same reason why you feel like you needed to put yourself first in a situation and say enough's enough. And it's exactly the same reason why this truth is so important. Okay? These are 3 things that are also intertwined together. So, you're being asked to approach this gently. You have spiritual clarity. You know what the truth is. You know how you feel. You're just still learning what to do with it. Okay? It's like they're showing me like you opened up, you got a wound. You healed the wound. You took care of the scar. It's almost as if it never happened. Except there's one thing. That it did. And you know that was for a reason. Yes, for your evolution, but also for the collective. And so, again, gently here, you're being called to remind yourself that habits stick. You're being called to remind yourself it's not your job to take responsibility for others. It's not your job to be hyper responsible for yourself either. Let your inner child play. Let your inner child have some fun. And know that whatever this is you've been working so freaking hard for, group number 3, the second that you let go is the second that it's going to come. There's something here about every day mattering. They're showing me Nasitas DM, like needing every day, needing every moment, like just squeezing all of the energy you can out of your life, squeezing every second that you can out of your day. And then when you look back, you don't see a life well lived. You see a life hard worked. And that's not something that you deserve or something that you want, and that's not even something that you instigated within yourself. And it's likely the very reason that put you into this cycle in the first place. So, advice from your future self, group number 3, is to cut yourself some slack. Give yourself some time and space. For some of you, let yourself spend some of your money. Okay, you might be gripping onto it. Speak your truth if it comes up. Don't ever be afraid. Don't feel like you need to hold back. This is something big that's coming out. Might only be for some of you, but don't not speak your truth to protect somebody else. Okay, I'm hearing 2 things. If they wanted to, they would have. I'm also hearing if somebody mistreated you on purpose, it's your story to tell. Okay. Frankly, with the 4 of Cups here, this has to do with like out of love withholding your truth. But this is going back around to loving yourself and loving others enough to be, they're saying, a survivor of whatever this is, and have walked through, they're saying, the pearly gates of the situation. They're saying finally, at last, peacefully, lovingly, and loving yourself and everyone involved, because it's honestly best. They're saying, this is so interesting, so only take this part if it resonates, but they're saying it's best for the perpetrator to take responsibility for their actions, whether or not they do it themselves. But somebody cannot be held accountable if the truth is being concealed. Okay? And you are not accountable for somebody else's manipulation or purposeful mistreatment of you, something like this. We do have the Knight and the King of Wands, which is letting me know that this led you towards great spiritual advancement, great spiritual enlightenment, a beautiful sense of self. This grew you into what you are. But now it's like you get to cut off that part of your leaf, that part of your stem, and propagate it and grow it into something else totally beautiful. And there is some sort of expression or communication. Maybe there's a book you want to read or a book you want to write. Okay, maybe somebody's watching you and they're concerned or worried or curious about what you've been through. And it's just, you don't want judgment, and 5 of Coins is giving, you don't want to burden them. You don't want to scare them off. You don't want to surprise them. That's part of who you are, though. And that's also another filter that the universe has given you in order to sift through those who are and are not meant to be in your life. What you are and are not supposed to do. Truth is so important. And that's also why you have the breath here. If you feel like it's time for something, first let yourself play, let yourself rest, okay? And if you feel like you want to have this conversation, or if you feel like you're getting stressed, or you feel like you need to play and rest, and you feel like it's just difficult, or work, or whatever this is, you feel like it's difficult to find those transitional areas, to step into that energy, to express that energy, to let it out, to embody it, to embrace it, take a deep breath. Breathe in for 4, hold for 4, and exhale for 4. They're also showing me this technique where you cross your arms over your chest, like you're saying love in sign language, and you tap your shoulder with your hand, and then you tap your other shoulder with your other hand, and you just take turns tapping each shoulder, It's supposed to be like centering and grounding and balancing, and that's a great calming and centering and balancing technique. Okay. More advice from your future self, group number 3. They're saying final advice here. Be confident in who you are. Your scars are beautiful, but they do not define you. There's no need to over-identify or over-associate with them, and there's no need to try to erase them off the page either. Everything is divinely planned, and you have the higher knowledge behind this too. You have the emotional maturity that came from this. You have all of the understanding. The only thing that you don't have is telling your story. And there's almost that feeling of freedom that might be what's holding you back from expressing, from playing, that releasal of your inhibitions. That might be what's preventing you from resting fully, because you feel like you need to get to this place where something doesn't matter anymore, or where you need to continue having a particular cycle or particular like energy or particular lesson or something like this. And your future self wants to remind you that, yeah, your habits stick. So you're not working for playing someday. You're not working for resting someday. You're not playing to work one day. What you do today is likely going to be closest to what you do tomorrow. And that's where it's important to make tiny little changes today, because that's what's going to affect your tomorrow. If you haven't gone out with your friends in 10 years and you have an opportunity to go out tonight or tomorrow or something like this, take the opportunity, because that means they'll invite you out next time. And you don't have to say yes every day. You don't have to say no every day. But work is not more important than rest. Rest is not more important than play. And all of the above. None are more important than any of the others. And that's something that society tries to sometimes like pat hard work on the back, but that is not healthy. That's not good. We're human beings. We're not human doings. And your future self just kind of wanted to come in to remind you of this. Let you know to be more gentle with yourself, to have more fun, to have more play, to let yourself be honest with yourself when it comes to what it is that you want and desire. And if there's an opportunity for you to tell your truth, do it. Absolutely do it. Don't hold back because of something else. Don't hold back play because of work. Don't hold back your truth to protect somebody else. Don't hold back your rest because somebody else wants you to play. Like, just we're kind of taking a look at if-then statements, and they're saying life is not a hypothesis. It's not. Okay. Your future self loves you so very much, and they notice that right now you're at a cornerstone of your next chapter. And the way that you approach this, the energy that you're in as you step across this doorway, is really important to the way that your next chapter looks. And that's why they want you to focus on balancing those 3 things right now specifically. I'm hearing to tell you materially, financially, everything, like, you are fine. They want you to focus on the sacral, solar plexus, heart, and throat chakras right now. Your root chakra, fine. Your third eye, perfect. Your crown, amazing. Okay? Focus on these 4 chakras right here. And know that you are enough. Know that the universe has your back. And know that all of your work is going to pay off the second that you stop working is hard. And it's not counterintuitive. It's the laws of the universe. Okay? So, that is all I have for you, group number 3. This is advice from your future self. If you liked this reading or it helped, please like, comment, and subscribe, as it helps me out a lot, and I love helping you guys out. I hope this helps shed love, light, and clarity on your situation, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, week, month, year, and incarnation in this beautiful realm. Namaste.